YouTube, what's going on? This is Keen47, aka Wolfkeen, and welcome to another edition of A Wolf's Word. So today on A Wolf's Word, we will be talking about a game which celebrates the 20th anniversary of a certain character from Sega. A game which is a sort of fan nostalgia type game because it brings back favorite levels from some of our favorites. I'm talking about Sonic Generations. I don't have a case because it was a GameFly game that I rented, and I already sent it back, so I don't have the case. So, Sonic Generations came out last year. It was supposed to be a game that combined the 2D and 3D elements of... And my camera's still not straight. I don't know why. Shit. There we go. So, here's what it does. It combines the 2D and 3D elements of, like, classic Sonic games. And my camera's straight? Never mind. Anyways, it combines 2D and 3D Sonics. So, you play as two Sonics. You play as the classic... Jesus Christ, I should have fixed this camera up. Doesn't matter anymore. So, here's the thing. You play as the 2D Sonic, which is, you know, classic Sonic from Sonics 1 through Knuckles. And then you play as the current Sonic. Basically, what happens is that when you play as the classic Sonic through the first level of Green Hill Zone, this weird monster, as I said, it looks like the monster from Epic Mickey, comes out, and then the classic Sonic like whites out. Then with the current Sonic, it's his birthday. He's having a party. His friend threw him a party for his I don't know, 20th birthday, I guess. But the party's cut short by the same monster. Then all of a sudden, they're taken to this realm in between space and time where the Sonics have to run through all the levels again, like some of the fan favorite levels again, and restore color to these levels to both save their friends and save space and time. Sorry, my lip really hurts right now. What can I say about this game? Sonic Generations, I feel, is a step in the right direction for the Sonic series because, let's face it, the last few Sonic games have been nothing but piles of shit. Let's face it like that. Sonic Heroes was dumb as hell. Sonic Unleashed was horrible. Sonic the Hedgehog, horrible. I heard Colors was okay, but I haven't played it, so I can't really say anything about Colors. Then finally, we got the remake of it all. It's Sonic Generations, which is supposed to bring back fan favorite levels from all previous Sonic games. And why is my... Hopefully that will help. Anyways, some of the levels they brought back, which you saw, the first level is Green Hill Zone. They brought back Green Hill Zone. They brought back Chemical Hill Plant. They brought back the Sky Sanctuary. They brought in Speed Highway, City Escape, Sunset, I don't know, Seaside Hill, I think it was called, from Sonic Heroes. Then they brought back Sunset Village from Sonic Unleashed, Crisis City from Sonic the Hedgehog, and Wisp Isle, I think, from Sonic Colors, because I never played Colors. All these levels were remade for both 2D and 3D. This brings me to one of the points. I like how they remade the levels. Like, there were like certain levels that was only made for like the 2D Sonic. They remade it for the 3D Sonic. Like Green Hill Zone, Chemical Hill Plant, and Sky Sanctuary, there weren't a lot of 3D elements in that game. So they decided to remake the level if there was a 3D element in that game. And it works well. Now, what else can I say about it? There were a couple of levels as well where they only had it for 3D and they had to remake it for 2D. Was this a good thing? It kind of got the level a little annoying. At least when you were 3D, you kind of saw what was in front of you 9 times out of 10. When you're playing as 2D, you only see like what's over there. So like you'd be running like this, like going like this, and then you just, oh, I got hit by something like that, and you don't even see it until the last second. And they don't even give you enough time to react. Because we all know classic Sonic did not have a lot of moves until after Sonic and Knuckles. After Sonic and Knuckles, he was able to do the... Well, he has the spin dash in this one, of course. He has the spin dash, but he doesn't have, like, the the jump attack that he can do. Like, not like the current Sonic where he can jump and then dash towards its opponents. You know, like it's Sonic 2 when you attack and then, like, he does, like, a spin that does, like, a little, like, blade attack or some sort of like that. Like, backdraft. I don't know, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't have the bounce ability. He doesn't have all of his abilities. He only has like the jump and the spin dash. So this makes plenty of levels annoying, especially when you miss your jump. At least with current Sonic, if you miss your jump, you have a way to recover by either using your boost or your your attack. With classic Sonic, there is no way to recover from a missed jump. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna fall, and this causes issues. Like with Crisis City, I had the worst time playing that level as classic Sonic. It was the worst because there was lava all over the place. There was no like way I could telegraph my jump and figure out like how to make it. Not to mention you would have to slow down as classic Sonic to make those jumps, and 9 times out of 10 you miss anyways. Because you misinterpreted the jump. Be like, okay, I could jump this far. Oh, the platform moved. I'm like, no! And you fall in the lava. There's no way to recover. So this is what causes an issue with the classic Sonic levels. For the 3D Sonic levels, there are issues as well. Like, they brought in plenty of his abilities from the other Sonic games. Some of them I didn't know about. Like the wall jump, the foot stomp. I think that's most of the current ones. Oh yeah, and the bubble bounce with the bubble shield, but I don't have that. I didn't have that ability when I played the game, so I did unlock it, but I didn't buy it, so I didn't have it, but I know it's there. So there are some abilities, but let's face it, the current Sonic levels remade for like classic levels, it makes it easier, but in a sense, it makes the level too easy. Green Hill Zone, I had the easiest time playing as the current Sonic. I didn't have issues. Even in Crisis City, as current Sonic, I did really well. That's the issue. Some of these levels are only made for like certain Sonics, and if you try to do it with the other Sonic, you're going to have a rough time. Or an easy time. That's the thing. But anyways, I digress. We should stop talking about the levels. Let's talk more into the story. So basically, you have to run through all these levels until you can make it to the final boss. Along the way, every time you beat a boss, you get a Chaos Emerald. And you also run into rivals like Metal Sonic, Shadow, and Silver. You have to fight all 3 to also get Chaos Emeralds. You need all 7 Emeralds in order for you to fight the boss, which, in my honest opinion, was probably one of the cheapest, stupidest, and easiest bosses I've fought. I did it on my first try and got a perfect bonus. Come on, a final boss is supposed to be difficult as hell. I had a worse time fighting the Egg Dragoon. What the fuck? You're telling me that I'm going to have a worse time fighting the Egg Dragoon than I am going to be fighting Time Eater? Then why not make the Egg Dragoon the final boss? Unless he was the final boss in Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm willing to bet he probably was, because the name and the city below that you saw was in lava. So I'm guessing he was from Sonic the Hedgehog. But that's what I mean. Like, they made the second to last boss the toughest, and they made the final boss a freaking pussy. That's not good gameplay, guys. The final boss is supposed to be an epic fight. Yes, you turn into Super Sonic, but it's not really important. Super Sonic, yeah, it's needed in a fight, but both Sonics becoming Super Sonic is not necessary, to be quite honest. Because you saw I kept switching between 2D and 3D Sonic. They were never incorporated in any way. It's not like I could hit him as 2D Sonic. I can only hit him as 3D Sonic. The only time I was able to hit them with both was when you had to combine your powers to go through the fire. That, in my honest opinion, was probably one of the cheapest, easiest bosses I fought. I got an S and a perfect bonus. So, what else can I say about this game? That's another bad. The boss fights are a little... Well, some of the boss fights are pretty cool to fight. Like, the first boss, I don't remember its name, but it's from Sonic and Knuckles. That was a fun boss to fight. The second boss was Perfect Chaos, which I thought was great. The Perfect Chaos boss was probably one of the most memorable boss fights in Sonic history. And finally, we had the Egg Dragoon, which I thought was a pretty hard boss. I did not know anything about the Egg Dragoon since I never fought since I never played Beyond Sonic Heroes. So I had no clue about the Egg Dragoon. So I had the worst time ever fighting the Egg Dragoon. Time Eater I had no clue about because of course it's a new final boss, but it was too easy. And that's kind of being an issue. The boss fights are pretty good. They can be challenging at times. The final boss, not so much. Anyways, let's talk about the music now. This is probably one of the best things about Sonic Generations. Remixed music. Because of the fact that certain levels were only made for 2D, when they made the 3D level, they remixed the music for like a new generation, which I thought was really cool. Like they remade Green Hill Zone for 3D Sonic, Chemical Hill Plant, and the Sky Sanctuary. Then when we went to the 3D levels, they remade them for 2D. So instead of sounding like, the current music, the 2D Sonic got like this 8-bit music, like, of City Escape, like something like that. And it was 8-bit. I like that. I like how they kept true to the classic and current Sonic's music. And they remade the music so this way it fit each character. And I thought that was a great strategy, because it gave a lot of there was a lot of nostalgia when I heard these songs, including Speed Highway and City Escape. When I heard them in 2D and 3D, I felt a lot of nostalgia, bringing back some good old memories and putting in some new ones along with the Sonic game. Now, what else can I say? You can also unlock your own music. Like, you can unlock certain music when you beat the challenge stages. In order for you to fight the boss, you need to beat the challenge stages, which are unlocked after you beat all 3 levels, as, 6 times, because you need to beat each level 2 times, both as one is current and one is classic. Once you do that, you'll unlock the challenge stages. Once you get to the challenge stages and you beat it, that's when you find the boss key. But you can also get a bonus when you ring the bell in the challenge stage. Ring the bell, get the music note, and you can actually unlock songs from classic games. Like I unlocked the classic Splash Hill Zone, the classic Chemical Hill Plant song, I think. Like there were a bunch of classic songs. You can also find artwork from classic Sonic games. I thought that was cool. So there is some replay value to this, to try to get all the collectibles and to get all S ranks. Because I think there's a trophy for getting all S ranks. And there's also trophies for like doing levels in like certain ways. Like one trophy I got was to beat Sky Sanctuary in Act 1 without dying. Basically, you had to not fall and not die. And I got that trophy. I thought that was a little bit of a challenge, but I was able to get it on my first try. I'm sure they got tougher trophies like collect every red coin in like 3 or 4 levels or something like that, but that's what they came up with. I also got trophies for beating the rivals like Shadow, Metal Sonic, and Silver. But I digress. The music is really good, and I think they did a great job with the remixed music. It's definitely a high point for Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, Sonic Generations in general. Another thing that I didn't like was that there were a couple of characters I didn't know about, like Blaze. I don't remember Blaze being added to the series, but I can't really penalize it for that one. That's me, because I haven't played any of the other Sonic games. They say Blaze is from Sonic Rush. I never played Rush, so I wouldn't know who Blaze is. So, unfortunately, I have no clue who Blaze is, and supposedly, they're supposed to be incorporating this weird rumor where Sonic is supposed to be a king in this new Sonic game called Sonic Knights, I think it's called, like something like that. I think that game's going to be a big pile of shit, but I have a pretty good feeling I'm going to be the one playing it on this channel. So, I think that's all I can say about Sonic Generations. What can I say about the game? I think this Sonic game is a good turn in the right direction for the Sonic series. At one point, I was pretty much saying, okay, Sonic's done. Let's just take Sonic to the back of a shed, pull out a sawed-off shotgun, and just unload both barrels into the back of his head. It's done. But this Sonic game has proved me otherwise. I think the Sonic series is doing well to stay alive with this game. Mario has some catching up to do now, because I don't think the Mario games are as good anymore. Like, the only reason Sonic and Mario still exist today is because of nostalgia. Same way how people will still love Call of Duty. And that is being quite honest. So, who can I recommend this game to? I can recommend this game to the hardcore Sonic fans. If you're a hardcore Sonic fan like I used to be, pick this game up. This is definitely your game to play. Definitely your game to play. If you're a platformer style guy, this game's a rental. it's definitely a rental, but it's worth playing. It is worth it. So I have to give this game 2 scores because of the 2 people that will want to play it. The hardcore Sonic fans and the platformers. So for the hardcore Sonic fans, I give this game an 8. It is definitely worth your money and it is definitely worth playing and checking out. For the platformers, I can only give this game a 6 because, let's face it, it's almost the same thing over and over again. They said, oh, new 3D elements that are brand new to the game, but let's face it. Most Sonic games already had 3 to 2D transitions. Look at Sonic and Knuckles. It was 2D and they had 3D transitions. Like when you were running up the tower going up, you saw that it would look like it was in 3D. So there's nothing real special about it. The only thing that saves is that the gameplay is actually good. We get to go through fan favorite levels, which I like, and the remixed music, which is really good. And the gameplay is still pretty good as it is. So I think that's everything I need to say about Sonic Generations. 8 for Sonic fans, 6 for the platformer fans. So thanks for watching. This has been A Wolf's Word, and I will see you for the next installment. See ya!